Started so well. Apologies, that was a problem on my side. As the laggy stream for a moment there, that one tweak that I've just done there should resolve that particular one. I had the warning pop up straight away there. So let's find somebody, shall we? Who is out there? Garrix is on an outlap in the Mercedes. 16 drivers, as you can see, are with us. Wycombs in the Red Bull is out on track in doing a time lap as well. Tino Nogarinen in the Williams on a time lap as well. No one yet with a time on the board, as you can see. VP Mark in the Haas on a outlap, just coming around the final few turns to get his time lap underway. Photon in the Ferrari is pretty much everybody except for Slick and for Failer on track at the moment. Last week's winner was this man, Daniele Haddad. It was gifted to him. The win was gifted to him when the actual person that crossed the line, which was Fabrizio Donoso, had a penalty, so that actually handed the win over to Haddad. Now we are a few drivers short. That is going to be in part because the F1 Esports Series is due to take off again in this coming week, so I would imagine some drivers are going to be preparing for that. We also are going to be, at least we're only 4 drivers down, to be fair, and we could be a few more, but never mind. Let us see what we get. 25.8 out of the blocks from Tunisia. Wow. The Renaults coming out of the blocks fighting. 25.7 for Tunisia, 26.1 for Wycombs. That's not a bad time either. Most people on the PS4 side were going for a super soft run primarily in qualifying, but is not the favourite type. Chromatic on the mediums for qualifying. Well, okay, that I definitely didn't expect. That's at 28.5, so I would imagine even on mediums that's just very much a banker lap. So we'll see how the lap progresses.
Yeah, so mediums are very strange. If he thinks he can get P10, then yeah, why not? But otherwise, it is a bit of a strange strategy because, of course, if you qualify out the top 10, you get a free choice anyway. So maybe he's just getting a feeling for the track, Kodiak. And the 2 Renaults are doing well, and they need to because they're leading the constructors after our last time out with 25 points. So not too bad at all. Timp is currently in the pit. I thought he was just coming out, but he isn't. My bad. And it looks like Chromatic has had an incident with someone or something, because he's got some wing damage. Yes. So that'll be his final lap on the set of tyres.
On those tyres. Yeah.
Go around with no front wing.
Well, we're assuming that... now you're running the telemetry thing again, aren't you, Hamish?
I am indeed, yes.
As Garrix gets a banker lap on the board, 130.7. We would expect that to come down somewhat. The Renault's still out there, actually. And I would imagine they're going to come in, though, because they're, bright red fuel, certainly for David Tunisia. He allows, that's one of the McLarens coming through. That will be Chromatic. It's coming past him. So I would think that Chromatic is going to come into the pits, does he? Yes, he does. So who hasn't set a lap that is out there? Non-runner in the Red Bull. The CRG crew. He is coming through. I haven't got my track map, but that is 11. So 11 through 14 is... Oh, that was someone that was parked on the side there. Didn't actually see who that was. It's one of the Haas cars, so that must be Marek. Marek or Mark. It'll be Mark then, because the other one's in the pits.
So, what can Non-Runner get in the Red Bull? He is a pretty quick driver. It's looking like a decent lap time. It's a 25.8. That puts him P3. He'll be pleased with that as a banker lap. And the Red Bull getting 4 and 5. And it looks like Garrix just got... Garrix even just went even quicker. He is just 9 thousandths up on David Tunisia.
Wow, 125.752. And we still have over 11 minutes to run, bear in mind. So there's going to be a fair amount of banker laps being set. I do apologise for the slight pause in the stream.
Slick is on the hot lap again, Kodiak. I think he's the only driver.
Slick, was that?
Yes, he's on a hot lap at the moment. He's the only driver fueled for a hot lap.
Where is he? There he is.
So good, coming through turn 19. Then you got this quite long back straight down to turn 14. Braking at about 100 meters, and then you have about 1.2 kilometers of flat out, and he's had to come into a pit. So that's
Yeah.
a little bit odd, considering that was an out lap and the start of the flying lap. So he obviously wasn't pleased with how that was going.
He had a massive snap of oversteer actually, just as he was coming into the start finish. So that may have been something to do with it, as that should be the last window shuffling I need to do. So hopefully now this will not. The stream will not interrupt. We did some testing to avoid the issues we had last week, even though I inadvertently repeated them at the beginning of the stream. But I realised immediately the mistake I had made, so again I do apologise for that. That was me just tweaking some settings and see if I can get away with pushing it a little bit further. Also, for those that always were a little bit unhappy at the strange monitor resolution I used to use, I've got myself a proper aspect ratio monitor now. So yes, I am running in 1080p. It's scaled down to 720 just to make sure that the stream is smooth, but you shouldn't see any very odd squashing going on, what have you, of the resolution.
No, absolutely. So we've just seen Photon come out the track. He's only half a second off. In fact, it's only the top 8 which are currently within a second. Last season, though, Kodiak, when this was round 4, all the top 13 drivers were within a second. I wonder if we can improve on that today. I mean, well, 8 thousandths is how far behind David Tunisia is behind the pole at the moment, and I'm sure he has more time in the Renault. Like you said, a mid 25 is very competitive indeed. Wycombe has just started his flying lap, breaking into first corner, although he has quite a lot of traffic coming up. Mark 313 in the Sauber. He is going to have to pass.
That was
very close, and it wasn't a Sauber, it was a Haas. But regardless, that was
a bit close.
I would have thought for Wycombe.
Yeah, Wycombe may feel he was blocked a little bit by that. I was keeping an eye on ACR R Woodford, otherwise known as ACR Nobody. He's coming around the final turn. Only 3 cars not to have a time on the board, and here's one of them. Let's see what he does. 4th, 125.8. Oh, less than a tenth off the top. Very nice. 84 thousandths in it. Where are Tino and Jan? Where is Jan? That's coming through turn 10, so I believe. So he's got a little way to go before he gets to the line. Where's Tino? Tino is coming through turn 8.
He's coming down to turn.
Yes.
Oh no, he is. Yeah, turn 10 even.
Slick. Slick. Beg your pardon. Hasn't got a time on the ball, but he's on an outlap. So
fortunately for Tino, he got P3 last time, got demoted to P10 after a penalty was added for his little collision at turn 3 on lap 21, which involved David Tunisia and Garrick. So hopefully Tim can get on himself on the podium, maybe even a race win. We know he's one of the quickest drivers out there. Is he just on an out lap at the moment? Oh no, he is actually on a hot lap.
He's on a hot lap,
at
yeah.
the moment.
Jan has put a time on the ball, 128.1. We've actually seen the pole time change twice. Both by the Renaults, Tunisia and Haddad, getting swapping faster lap. Now 25.591, and still 7 minutes to go. But we should start seeing really start seeing people actually start to get the hammer down properly. We always kind of mention this, but it's a pretty safe bet you're not going to get rain. So it's not like they have to. It's not like they're trying to burn up their soft tyres. They are trying to keep some life in them. As just see the Williams in the background. There was either Tino or Vera Carrington just getting a little bit sideways there. It's around at turn 11 through 12 then for Slick. What can he do in the Sauber? He's on the soft tyres, bear in mind, so he's looking to do a bit of a contra strategy. Only 2 cars out there with soft tyres on. Actually, no, Crow's not out there. He's done his run on the soft tyres on 28.538. So heading down to the final turn then for Slick in the Sauber. Soft tyres on that car. What can he do? Streaming down towards the line. And it is a 127.0. Again, bearing in mind he's on the harder rubber. So puts him 11th at the moment. So that would give him a choice of tyres should he choose not to run again. Railgun, we haven't really mentioned him. He's just put in a 26.0. So he's, he's barely half a second off the top spot. 5 thousandths of a second separates him and Mark as well. So look at that. Half a second is the top 9.
absolutely nuts, isn't it? How is that even possible? We had the top 4 within a 10th earlier. Interesting, Kodiak. Timp used a strategy. We saw him in the social race. He was on a hot lap, looking all right-ish, and then slowed down before the line. I'm not
Garrick's
sure
has just done exactly the same thing, actually. I was on board with him as he was crossing the line.
It's odd because he was fueled for that lap and his in lap. So it's not like he ran out of fuel or he's trying to save fuel or something. So it's a very strange strategy. So yes, it is a bit odd. Although Garrick's has I think he has actually got himself into the he went a bit quicker, Kodiak, if I'm not mistaken.
25.662, so that puts him... Oh, yes, he did that. Also puts... So we got the top 3 within a tenth of a second. This is rather what we saw quite a lot last season as well. Just
Slick's improved.
Slick. Yes, he did.
Him,
26.5 on the soft tyres. Nice.
Off the pace. So not bad at all. That would be a great position to start in if he can continue that. I would say Caraton is probably going to go quicker. Tino will, and I suspect Jan Failert will as well, and in fact Marek. So there's an awful lot of quick guys who can gain quite a lot of time.
It really depends on what strategies they're running. I mean, you've got to think that Slick has just done 2 laps on those soft tyres. We're starting. One of the Williams is coming out. Can't tell who that is from that particular... Oh, both of them are actually coming out. So that's Carrington and Norkarinen both coming out on track. Good point there, Smoking Puppy. You raise an interesting point there, that if the driver is coming towards the finish line with an invalid time, that could be the reason why they would slow down. So, good point. Yes, well made, sir. Let's pick up one of the Williams there, as they are both registered. Actually, if we pick up Tino, he's right behind. Oh, is he the lead? I couldn't tell which one came out first.
It looks like where's Kai? Yes, Tino is the lead Williams. He's a couple of corners ahead. He should just be coming through turn whatever it is, 8.
You always do that. Yeah, so he's coming down to 9 and 10.
I evaluate what turn it is.
It is turn whatever it is. Right. So, Tino Norkarinen then, currently at the bottom of the table. He again has opted for the soft tyres. And through 11 and 12 he comes. Crow is on a time lap in the McLaren. Oh no, he's coming to the end of his out lap. Let's follow Chromatic then in the McLaren. Currently 12th, 126.732. He is what is he, third?
Kodiak, no. Did you say he's on his out lap?
I thought he was on a time lap as the.
No, but not by the looks of it, because he's got his ERS on 0.
Good point. Yes, and he is actually quite slow. Looks like he's coming up to 8 and 9 himself. And
we're all coming out of the pits now. We have Ferraris, Renaults, Hasses. They're all coming out of the pit right this second to start their potentially final. Yeah, their final flying lap. If they're quick enough, they might even get a double in.
And quite a lot of people, again, same as we saw in the PS4 races earlier this evening, quite a lot of people coming out on the super soft tyres, even though that apparently is not the favoured race tyre. So could well just be burning them up. If they're not going to run them in the race, then just may as well take the best of the grip that these things have, and get yourself as best a qualifying position as you can, and then just discard them pretty quickly afterwards. Yeah, a lot of people
go on board with Timp Kodiak. He's on a flyer, on his only flyer at the moment.
So streaming on then down towards turn 11. His ERS absolutely cranked to the max, spinning up, going through 13. Staying to the outside, then sweeping through 14. Over to the left-hand side, then stays. And he's actually turned his ERS down, so I wondered if he's actually just backing out of this one. Yeah, he's coasting now, so I think he's backed out of that lap, and he's probably going to absolutely stomp on it now. And there we go. Yep, he's turned the ERS right back up, so he is charged up, ready to go. And I think he did actually improve on that lap as well, despite the fact he coasted for some of it. So let's watch him through the lap, through through 1 and 2. Jumps over the apex then, through 3. Over to the left-hand side then for the relatively short run down to turn 4. Catches the apex, then stays over to initially to the left to start the sweeping section 5, 6 and 7. It's so easy just to snatch the apex and lose so much time. Now through the slow right-hander of 8. Over.
He's already... Sorry, Kodiak, he's already a 10th. He's 10th up, I think, on the current pole time. So he is doing very well.
If he's quicker than the pole time and he's on the sub and AOR Woodford.
Wow.
Oh, 125, 5, 7, 8, 2, not even that. That's 13 thousandths of a second. Wycombs jumps into third with a 25.6. Checkered flag is now out. Absolutely everybody is out there setting laps at the moment. Great time by ACR Nobody or ACR Woodford. Keeping an eye on Tina though. Over to the right then, uses as much track as he's allowed to. Chromatic does not, well, he does improve, 26.2, and Tino's in, so he'll be starting from last.
Wow.
Oh, now that
strategy gone wrong. In fact, he started from pretty much last week.
That's true. That is actually very true. Daniele Haddad, though, our victor from last week. I think Railgun's just jumped up with a 26.0. Wow, my goodness me, what's the gap to leader? Oh, David Teniza with a 25.3. What a stunner from the Renault. And I think Haddad's
going quick though.
Oh, Garrix and Haddad kind of tangled up there. Oh, that's a way to retire your car. So yeah, that Daniele Haddad was on a time lap and he kind of tangled up with Garrix there. He may feel very aggrieved by that. Who's a non-runner is in. I think that's everybody accounted for. Woodford is out there, but I think he's low on.
Like it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he's low on fuel, so he's been done. Is Wycombe still going? I think he's still going, but I don't think he's pushing too hard. No, his ERS is right the way down.
Wow. What a qualifying towards the end, but Teniza, wow. 2 tenths just blew the field away. That's awesome time of a 25.3. That is much better than any of the other drivers could do at the moment. So good job, and Woodford will be pleased with P2 as well.
Wow.
Yeah, no, very, very impressive indeed. So your qualifying times then, David Teniza on the pole with a 25.383, Woodford in P2, Haddad in P3, Wycomb's great qualifying result for him in P3, in P4, sorry, Garrick in P5, Photon P6, Non-On at 7, Railgun 8, Mark 313 in 9, and Merrick rounds out the top 10. Good-ish result there by Haas. Red Bull did quite well. They've got P8 and P2. The Renaults, though, they're looking good. They're already leading the constructors. Can they extend that lead? But Williams, who are second in the constructors with 22 points, are 11th and last on the grid.
But they've not put any mileage on these durable tyres. If they choose to run them, then
very true.
That could be an interesting one if they're choosing to run the Supersoft tyres, even though I was led to believe it wasn't a favourable tyre. If they want the extra grip from them, now's the time to do them when they haven't done any mileage. So whilst Tino, starting from the back, Carrington, the other Williams, was actually the lead car of the soft runners, starting 11th. So yeah, the strategy may well play out for the Williams pair.
Yeah, absolutely. P11 is the best place. It's not the best place start. It's the best place in terms of it really opens up your strategy option. So great job there by Carre. So very solid indeed on the soft compound tyres. If it was me, I would always go for qualifying position on the super softs, but like you say, it's not the best race tyre. These two Renaults, though, I wonder how hard they're going to be battling. Are they going to stay in somewhat single file, do you think, if he overtakes if Haddad overtakes Woodford for P2. Not entirely sure. I imagine they will go all out at this early stage in the season, Kodiak.
I would think so, yes. Everyone from 11th downwards opting for the softs, except for Jan Fehler, who's gone for the medium tyres. So that's a strange one, but you never know. We've seen many times where an alternate strategy has paid absolute dividends. And we've lost Marek. We've actually lost both the house drivers. Oh no, they're disqualified from the formation lap. I'm still not used to the fact that we have a formation lap. Going on. That caught me out a little bit. So unfortunately, the Haas pair have had a little bit of a wonky moment there, but they will restart in their, or should restart in their grid positions. So that's what it looks like.
Sorry, I was going to say, I wonder if they were doing the Ericsson-Leclerc scenario from earlier today.
Who knows? No spoilers though if you haven't seen Suzuka.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
So, looking from the tail end then. And obviously everybody working their tyres as you would expect on the formation lap. No rain, shock.
Yeah, it is really important to get your tyres in the right temperature window. I actually did a little bit of a test, Kodiak, with the tyre temperatures a few weeks back now. But if you overheat the tyres round, I did my test at Silverstone, but they lasted 3 laps less than if you were to, just cruise tyres, and that was on 50% race distance. Obviously, the tyre wear is sped up for 50% race rather than 100% race. But it makes an absolutely
3 laps, though.
3 laps you can get out, and that was before the tyre punctured. So let's just say 2 to be league racing, good for league racing. But yeah, so it's an awful lot. If you mess up your tyre preparation, then it will affect you big time in the race.
Here we go then. They are forming on the grid. Just waiting for the last cars to get into their spot. Here we go then. For round 2 here at Sakhir. 3, 5 lights. Wind them up and let them go. Oh no, Daniel, he had her with a jump start. What a shame. We actually did see that. We were looking at Tunisia. We saw had I get into the shot, but look at the Ferrari trying to defend half from the. Oh, that's the McLaren. That's Jan Fehler going around the outside. It was actually Chromatic that caught my eye because it was storming up towards the inside of a lot of cars there. But lots of positions going swapping, no major impacts going on. But then I said that last time as someone threw it off the road at turn 4 last week out of straight air. Looks like everybody has managed to make it through unscathed this time. Lots of position swapping going on. Let's see what's going on here. Wow, look at that. Marek
losing a load of time.
Yeah, is Marek got damage on his car?
Mark has just lost his front wing as well. He just slammed into the back of Chromatic. So that is his front wing gone. He's going to be pitting this lap. And White Lilac and Chromatic are going side by side coming out of turn 10. And it looks like the Ferrari and White Lilac is just going to have a pace on that on the Renault-powered McLaren even. And it's all going on. They're still close battling right over front with Wycombs, Garrix and Haddad. Very close indeed.
Look at that. Anisa already 1.5 seconds ahead of Woodford. What a stunning start then for the current lead Renault. And Woodford second. Daniele Haddad, he's going to have to serve that drive-through penalty within a few laps. And he's going to serve it straight away.
Now.
Yeah, well, better to get it out of the way. It is a straight drive-through penalty. And unfortunately, he has only got himself to blame for that. A bit of a shame there. And Tino is in. Tino and Mark in, so that is not good. That's
wing damage for the Williams driver.
Oh no! So there's the big disadvantage of starting from the tail end of the field, is that you are far more likely to get caught up in that kind of early scuffles than if you were towards the front. But Tunisia continues to lead. Woodford is a bit of a cork in the bottle then for the cars behind. Garrix in the Mercedes up to third. Wycombs in fourth with his teammate Non-Runner right behind him. Great effort then from Carrington. He's up 5 since the start of the race. And bear in mind, he's on the soft tyres as well. So he's had a stunning start then in the Williams, unlike his teammate that's slightly unravelled for him. Railgun 7, Veloci Photon in 8 with his teammate very shortly behind White Lilac, and Chromatic rounds out our top 10.
Yeah, like you said, great start from Carrington. He's really like made his way through the field well, just keeping his nose out of any potential damage. Mark 313 actually had a bit of half spin in turn one, and it kind of caused a traffic jam for the second half of the field. And that is actually where Carey was able to gain some of his time. And Photon is slowing down to let White Lilac through. That looked very orchestrated. Not entirely sure why. Is Photon coming into the pits? He does have a little bit of wing damage, but no, he doesn't. So that was very strange by the Ferrari pair there.
Carrington on non-runner. He's going to say, oh, is non-runner going to try and defend? No, he thinks better of that one. The Williams then jumps through on the inside of turn one. Very nicely done. He's got Wycombs next in sight. He's absolutely charging his Carrington. Great effort there. Now 1.8 is the lead for Tunisia over Woodford. So then, bring up the right interval. There we go. So Garrick's just about hanging on, or indeed may not be hanging on to DRS range from Woodford then. So he's right on the cusp. Wycombs, he's right there on the back of Mercedes. So he's piling on the pressure. Carrington still has DRS, of course, and non-runner still does off the back of the Williams as well. This pack now is beginning to spread out. Railgun in 7th. It's fallen out of DRS range of the Red Bull ahead, and that's the effect of it. That is, you can just see Railgun's got absolutely no answer at this early stage. The DRS is just very, very strong on that straight between 10 and 11.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a gigantic difference with DRS around this particular track. It is. I know DRS is meant to just aid the overtakers, and it's meant to get you alongside, but around this particular track, DRS is pretty much an instant pass, and you'll see how strong it is if we go on board with Garrix now on Woodford. His DRS is wide open. Are we going to see a change for P2? He set the fastest lap. He's closing in on the Red Bull, Toro Rosso, sorry, and unfortunately he's not able to make anything of that.
Not as yet, but Wycombs has actually, or he's on the verge of breaking DRS to the Williams behind, so he may well feel less pressure as a result, but he is right under the rear wing still of Garrix, so Garrix has really got to be feeling that pressure, and Woodford obviously doing what he can to try and chase down David Tunisia in the Renault, and whilst trying to get away from the Mercedes. Garrix not in a position, as we've just seen, to attack immediately yet, but Wycombs, he's always looming, he's right there, keeping the pressure on. You don't necessarily have to make a move, just make your presence very, very known. He had a very slow exit from turn 8 though. That's given Garrix a bit of time to concentrate on Woodford rather than Wycombs behind. So none of the super soft runners coming in yet. I can't imagine they're going to go too much longer. Bear in mind they've done quite a number of laps on these tyres already. All of our super soft runners. Daniele had a look at how costly that drive-through was. There he is in 14th. Only Tino Norkarinen and Mark 313, the two people that had a front wing change, are behind him. He's 9 seconds behind Jan Fele, who's on the medium tyres. That has gone horribly wrong. It's going to be highly unlikely that Daniele Haddad's going to repeat his victory from last week, but you just never know.
Yeah, you don't know, Mr. Split. I mean, the guys are probably going to look at coming in between laps 8 and 11 on the super soft compound tyres. The soft compound tyres is probably something more like lap 14 to 16, something like that. But look how close second, third, fourth. To yeah, exactly. Second, third, and fourth are. They really close up turn 1.
Oh wow, that's a Ferrari in the Haas, Sauber rather fighting. That is Photon and Slick with Marek right in the mixer as well. That's actually a battle for 10th position, so it doesn't matter where you are, you can always fight. And Chromatic, the first one to open the scoring for the penalty board. Marek's doing a great move on the outside of Slick, coming through the twisty 5, 6 and 7 section. Has managed to demote the Sauber down to 12th. Jan Fele is right there as well, but Jan probably isn't going to do a lot of fighting as he's on the medium tyres. He doesn't have the same grip level as those ahead of him. But again, I'm not going to look away from this battle, and look at that. Carrington is now right with Wycombe. So whatever's happened with this group of 3, Carrington's been on a hell of a charge. So he's more likely he's closed them down as opposed to they've made a mistake. But I would imagine the super soft tyres of Woodford, Garrix and Wycombe are beginning to go as Carrington is now really capitalising on that.
Yeah, absolutely. He is doing so well on those soft compound tyres. this is very much like you say. This is where he starts to gain on the super softs. This is where like the sort of the drop off point for the super softs
Here goes
and the kind of the point. And yeah, Garrix is having a look, and he in fact has P2 on Woodford, late braking as well. I thought the Red Bull was going to go back into the back of the Toro Rosso counterpart, but he doesn't. So that is all good from Wycombs. He's going to get another blast down the second DRS straight, and second to fifth are just so close at the moment.
Well, it looked like Wycombs were thinking about an inside move on the inside of Woodford there, coming out of turn 4, decided better of it, but he has got Carrington right with him, so if he makes a mistake, that position's gone. What has happened to Photon? Has Photon got damaged? Because he seems to be falling through the field pretty quickly as well. He's now down in 12th, side by side with Slick there in the Sauber. Slick manages to get back out. Did you say Photon has got damage on that car?
Yeah, he has got damage. It's not major damage, but it's enough for him to worry about.
No, that's not going to help. But the field is still, everybody pretty much except for the back three, Haddad, Nogarina and Mark, have all got company. And Carrington is just biding his time. Wycombs nearly pushing Woodford through 14. Surely this is going to be an opportunity then for the Red Bull. It really depends on what the strategies are. Woodford, I think, is really suffering because Garrix is now nearly 7/10 down the road. So Woodford is really struggling on those tyres now. Surely, is he going to come into the pits? No, he doesn't. This is going to be an opportunity for Wycombe. DRS open on the Red Bull, and I think on the Toro Rosso as well. Yes, it is. And on the Williams that we are following. Wycombs jumps out from the slipstream. Is he going to do it into turn 1? Bit of a late break in there for Woodford, but he's overshot turn 1. He's going to have the inside for 2. It's always such a great exchange. Well defended there by the Toro Rosso. Here comes the Williams. Indeed, here comes the... No, they're going to look at 3 wide. No, Carrington thinks better than that, but Wycombs jumps on the inside of 4. He doesn't want to be stuck behind the Toro Rosso any longer. And now the Williams is going to do an inside move on the Toro Rosso as well. Outside, beg your pardon. And he's all did... So that's... two positions in 2 corners Woodford has lost. Very nicely done.
This is why Carey is one of the best drivers at the moment on the soft compound tyres. Woodfield does have the worst tyre wear. His tyre wear is about 10% more than anyone around him, which is affecting him massively. In fact, if he does another lap, he's probably going to get a puncture, so he needs to come in this lap really be safe. He's been pushing too hard. Maybe he did a double qualifying stint on these particular tyres. A non-runner is actually closing in on B's pack as well. He's now just 1.2.
Wycombs.
Who was that?
That was Wycombs.
Wide. That means Carey is up into P3, King-Kodiak.
What a great effort then by the lead Williams driver. Yeah, Wycombs has just made a mistake at turn 14, flew off the road, gave an easy pass then to the Williams. Who's going to come in then? And there goes Woodford. That's exactly as you called there, Hamish. He's just had nothing left in those tyres. That's, of course, is going to promote quite a number of people up. Non-runner now up to 5th, but he carries a lot of people with him. What does Woodford go on to? No, that's not him. There he is. He's got the softs. Oh, no, mediums. Oh, and he's
medium tyres.
And he was there for a while, but he's now underway, so he's not looking to come in again. And there is Tunisia now. He has lost some of his lead. That's probably, again, tyre wear related. We saw how badly they just disintegrated for Woodford. And I imagine Tunisia's now going to start to struggle. Garrick seems to be doing all right at the moment. He's closing in that gap. But Carrington is absolutely charging after them.
Yeah, Carrington's like... His tyres are by far in the best position. If the top 2 don't come in this lap, Carey really needs to capitalise. He has to overtake Garrick's at least to be able to make most of his strategy. This is where it's make or break at the moment, but I'd say that Williams driver is in a pretty strong position. Non-run's closing in as well. He's fairly close to Wycombs, just a couple of seconds back. White Lilac is very close to non-runner. In fact, he's going to get DRS.
As Railgun's in trouble, he's lost the position to Marek. He's now lost the position to Slick as well. I think his tyres have absolutely mullered now as well. He's got the Ferrari of Photon and the McLaren of Failer right with him as well. The Ferrari's going to get an inside move coming down towards the last turn. That's, oh, goodness me. It didn't matter how late you braked on that one, Toro Rosso. You were never going to make that one. We've got Wycombs, Garrix, and Tunisia. The top 3 all came in at the same time. Mediums on the Mercedes. what does... mediums for Wycombs as well. Rayogon, he's just arrived in. Where's Tanita? So the top 3 all came in, went for the same tyres and came out at the same time. Is Railgun going to do anything different? No, mediums on you as well. So I think we can fairly safely assume what most people are going to go for. And, oh, Haddad's in the pits again. Oh, no. What happened? What is happening to Daniele Haddad?
That's the second time he's came, but he did the first time for his drive-through, didn't he?
Oh, yes, of course, he didn't change tyres. So now he's gone with the mediums. That's the last time he'll see the pit lane this race. And look at this. If we jump to 7th, that's where Photon and Failer are having their battle. Failer's tyres much fresher because they are that much more durable. Non-runner is chasing White Lilo, but non-runner is still on those super surfs along with Marek and Photon. So I would imagine the Red Bull is going to come in pretty soon. He couldn't come in last time because his teammate Wyckoff was already there. So the soft runners are going to go on to... Do we have a tyre prediction for the softs? How long are they going to go on for, do you think?
Yeah, probably lap 13 to 16. Obviously, very much depending on the drivers. At the moment, in fact, we are having a look at failure on Photon, and that is done by the McLaren, although the Ferrari's coming back. But Photon's coming into the pit.
That's all of the Super Soft runners now have pitted, so no Super Soft remain on track. The top 4 are the soft runners. I believe none of them have pitted yet. Let's get stops. Indeed, our top guys have not pitted yet, so they're all on the soft tyres. That is what we would expect. And so decent effort then from Jan Failer from starting near the back. He's now up to 5th position. Not bad effort for him. Carrington leading the way, starting 11th, is now leading and leads by 3.5 seconds. Great effort.
Yeah, I bet he didn't expect that from where he was starting. It's about a 22-second pit loss time around here. So... really, what is I can't really work out what Carey is at the moment. So Carey at the moment is probably coming out around where David Tunisia is. So
an interesting
good job from him. He's probably going to come ahead of Garrix, but behind Tunisia. So he's probably in a net second. So a good job from him. I think is he going to come in? He's coming in now. Is Carey actually into the pits, getting the car slowed down now nicely. What tyre is he going to go on to? Probably the mediums, although they are going to be a few laps younger than the other drivers around him, at least the guys at the top. Now, where is Tunisia? Just coming down the back straight now, crossing the qualifying start-finish line, because there's 2 for some bizarre reason.
Fastest lap then by Tunisia, and he's got him. Carrington will be behind Tunisia, but not by much. Yeah, he's done brilliantly. He comes out ahead of Garrix, behind Tunisia, so that is essentially a net second for Carrington at the moment, as our top 4 now have not pitted. Carrington even giving his car a bit of a wiggle to try and get some heat into the tyres. Garrix is right there though. Those tyres are 2 laps old and have obviously gotten up to temperature, so looking to try and get past Carrington as quickly as he can, but Carrington has been absolutely blinding so far this race. The Jan Fader got himself a penalty as well, so that's going to hinder him a little bit. Look at the Williams, he's really weaving to try and get some heat. He's got to be careful doing that. You can get penalised for excessive weaving, especially with someone that's close by, and Garrix of course is, so he's got to be careful. And I can't imagine he's defending, so... Look,
sort of like a semi-defensive manoeuvre,
that's what I thought.
To be fair.
Maybe he thought Garrix was a bit closer than he actually is.
Yes, it was a little bit lazy though, wasn't it? It wasn't really. It wasn't very definitive. He kind of just drifted over. But I mean, Carey now wants to focus on Tunisia. Try not to focus on the driver behind, because the more you focus on the driver behind, it means you're not thinking about making progress. It means you're only thinking about losing position, and psychologically, that is not what you want to do. Carey got very wide of that final corner. Had to dart over to the other side of the track as Slick comes into the pit. I wonder where he's going to come out. In fact, quite competitive. Is that going to be P10? No, probably P11. Depends if Tino can overtake
Oh,
him.
White Lilac's in a right old tussle there with Woodford. He's just lost that position. And Daniele Haddad is now on a charge. He's down in 15th. He's just put his name on the fastest lap board. But, wow, that was a bit of a moment there from White Lilac. His car is coming up on softs, but the overlay is coming up with mediums for him. I think everybody is going to be... Oh, what's happened to Railgun? Oh, he's going backwards. Oh, the Toro Rosso's in trouble. Railgun now relegated to last. Oh, what a shame for him. He's... where is he? He's coming up turn 4. Oh, what on earth has happened to Railgun?
Yeah, I didn't actually see that. Mac has picked himself for 5 seconds stop and go penalty. Chromatic has got himself another 3-second penalty. He's leading the penalty points at the moment with 6 seconds.
Along with the race. So,
yes, exactly. In fact, for McLaren's penalties, are about as bad as they are in real life. No surprise.
It's a McLaren 1-2 at the moment.
They are doing pretty well. And in fact, they've both started on the tyres. Both McLarens haven't pitted yet.
Well, Chromatic just did. Literally, as you said that. He's in. Yep, so he's going to be medium tyres on his car. Carroton has got his name on the fastest lap. That's really not a surprise with how well he's been driving. So he's broken away from Garrix, as you can see. That is, what's it, about half a second, give or take, between the two. Oh, no, it's 1.5 seconds between the two. I got that completely wrong. And there is Tunisia. Now, Jan Fehler ahead of them has yet to pit, so he can be pretty much ruled out of this particular race. But all eyes at the moment on the Williams. That is a stunning effort, but what's happened to Crow? Crow's just come out of the pits. Oh, side by side with non-runner as they're coming into the twisty 5, 6 and 7. Still side by side, but no, the Red Bull wins out on that one. Non-runner gets up into 8th position. We've got an interesting 3-way battle towards the tail end. That's Tina, Norcarina, Merrick and Mark. So the Williams and the 2 Haas drivers in their own battle towards the tail of the field. But at the moment they seem to be kind of holding station there. But yeah, Chromatic in as we know, he's just gone through the pit, so fresh tyres on his car. I don't remember the last time I saw a race where everybody, except for wet conditions, everyone's on exactly the same compound.
Yeah, that is quite strange, actually, I must admit. Some of the drivers will be changing. Jan Fehler will change his tyre compound.
He'll have to... Well, he doesn't have to soon, I suppose, but he will have to at some point.
He will eventually. A couple of drivers who are in bad positions at the moment. Tino in P11 and Mark 313 in P13. They will probably have to pit again because their tyres are 11 laps old. That's soon to be 12 laps old, actually.
There goes White Lilac flying on the inside of Woodford.
And it's Chromatic on non-runner down the inside of the first corner. They're side by side as the McLaren and the Red Bull. Non-runner gets a good exit. Chromatic in the slipstream. Is he going to look on the inside?
3 different pairs of battles doing exactly the same thing. Sorry, Hamish, cutting you off again, I know. 3 different pairs of battles doing the same thing, but Tino and Marek still side by side. That's the battle for 11th. The Haas is not letting that go. The Haas is now going to have the inside for 5, 6 and 7. They're still side by side. Come on, one of you is going to have to blink in a minute. And it looks like, is Cena going to maintain it? No, the Marek is still going. Oh, come on. That's great stuff. Marek's pushed wide and still is hanging on to the inside of the Williams. He's not going to have the inside of 9 and 10. Surely that is going to be job done. And it is. Tino is demoted. But what a battle that was.
Marek gets a little victory swerve as well, just to rub it in Tino's face. But Williams is still looking really quick. He's going to have DRS on the Haas as they come towards this back straight. Non-runner and Chromatic are super close as well. Chromatic's going to have DRS on the Red Bull car. Marek picking himself up a penalty for the first time this race. Has the McLaren got a good drive? It's a mediocre drive off the final corner. He's closing in on the Red Bull, closing in.
Wow.
Towards to the inside with quite a lot of extra speed, braking at 100 meters. Is he going to hit the apex? He hits the apex and covers up the left-hand side, and that is move done by McLaren driver. Great effort by Chromatic up into P8.
Nicely done. I did wonder whether Tino was going to do a bit of a dive on the inside of turn 1. He opted not to do so. Marek is hanging on to that 11th position. White Lilac we saw get the fastest lap earlier as well. He's chasing down Wycombs in the Red Bull, trying to get away from Woodford in the Toro Rosso. Chromatic and Non-Runner in their battle for 8th position, as Hamish was saying. Slick is not too far behind in the Sauber either, so that battle could well ignite as well. Towards the front, they kind of spread out at the moment. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds between Tunisia and Carrington, Garrix and Wycombe, so not a lot to look at up front, but plenty to look at in the midfield and backwards.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an interesting possibility, Kodiak. Failur's going to be going for quite a bit longer, I would have thought, into this race. I mean, the soft compound tyres can last 16 laps, so Failure could be coming in soonish. But do you think he's going to be holding up David Tunisia and see if his teammates can make up any extra position by Failure's actions? That will be something to look out for. Maybe the gaps are a little too large at the moment.
He'd have to turn into a bus or a tank or something to do that. Although saying that, Chromatic now gets his name on the fastest lap board. So isn't it interesting that a lot of drivers in this race have got their name on the fastest lap board? We're used to seeing 2, maybe 3 names get the fastest lap repeatedly, but we've seen quite a lot of drivers tonight get their name on the fastest lap board, so that the pace is pretty close, and we're not seeing a massive. I mean, what's really caused a big spread is either Railgon's spin early on or the drive-through penalty from Haddad. It's those sort of things that we're seeing that's seen the biggest kind of impact on the field, as opposed to there being a huge pace difference. I mean, you look top to bottom. Railgon, of course, had that spin. That's 30, and then 30 seconds is top to bottom, and we're halfway through the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the gaps, apart from Marek and a couple of the odd ones nearer the front, everyone's within a second of each other. What means we're going to have battling. This is why this track is such a good track for league racing kayak, because you have the 2 DRS straights, you have lots of corners where you can gain time, and Woodford gets himself a penalty. That's not good, because he's very much at the hot end of the field in the net P6 at the moment when Failure has pitted. And Failure is in. Okay, so what tyres is he going to go onto? I imagine he's not. He could be super soft.
No, surely he's not going to go supers. It's going to be soft, surely. Yep, it's soft tyres. So super soft would never last that long.
So 12 laps would be a big ask.
Well, yeah, I mean that's really is risking tyre explosion. But he's going to come out. He's going to come out in 10th. Oh, it's going to be a bit close. That's Tino and Marek having their battle right behind where Jan's just appeared. Can Tino do the switch back on the Haas? No, not quite. Marek's got that one covered off. Can he get a decent run through 2 and 3? Still in the slipstream of the Haas. Jumps to the outside, then towards turn 4. Jan Failures, then the Haas is defending again. Now, once again, Tino tries to switch back on Marek. Does not come off again. Now through 5, 6 and 7. Wow, Tino is putting all the pressure on, but Marek's doing a brilliant job to hold up to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Tino's going to have to come into the pits, unfortunately, fairly soon, though, Kodiak. Probably onto the super soft tyres. You can see Mark has just came to the pit as well. He was on, through, an unfortunate start. Mark was in the same position as Tino was. The battle at the moment, White Lilac and Wycombs are very close. A Ferrari to the Red Bull, quite reminiscent of the McLaren and the Red Bull, just a few laps ago. And that was, of course, Chromatic on non-runner, but the Ferrari is going to get the DRS. Wycombs hasn't got DRS. He's a little bit out. He's 7/10 of a second outside of DRS on Garrett. And look how quickly the Ferrari's closing. At the inside, late braking there by White Lilac, and he misses the braking point big time. And Wycombs retakes that position.
Whilst we were looking at that, Chromatic did exactly the same thing on Woodford, and Tino is in. So, yeah, exactly what you were saying. The Williams is coming again. That's going to be soft tyres. Indeed it is on the Williams. Pretty much the best that Tino can hope for is the fastest lap, I would imagine. But, Slick and non-runner side by side. Oh, my goodness me. It's a lot of people doing side by side through the twisty section. 5, 6 and 7. But hasn't gone Slick's way, so he remains in 9th position. Woodford on the back of Chromatic as well. That battle has still got some legs on it. And Mark, oh dear, gets himself a penalty. And White Lilac is on Wycomb's case. This is for 4th. And yellow flag in section 1. Not sure who that was. Someone going a bit wide, I would imagine. So Wycombe still has a lot of defending to do, but Tunisia is 2.3 in the lead with 12 laps to go. But there is Carrington. We know how quick he's been previously. Maybe just the medium tyres not biting as much as he would like. He was in a sterling job, as we know, on the previous set. There's Garrix in the background. He's 3.4 behind this battle, 1.7 ahead of this one. But Wycombe's is going to have to fight very, very hard to keep that charging Ferrari behind him. Oh, just as I say that, in the slipstream and nearly runs Wycombe's off the road. And that is 4th position for White Lilac.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. Another fastest lap. Everyone seems to be getting fastest lap at the moment. Marek is in the pits after 9 laps on the medium. He's got a little bit of wing damage, I think. That might be why that is. Woodford also has some wing damage, unfortunately, in P7. So whether he'll be able to close in on Chromatic, I don't think he'll be able to do that. Chromatic is closing in on Wycombe, though, after being in that battle with White Lilac. Is White Lilac going to be able to extend the gap? His tyres are a little bit fresh to Kodiak, for 3 laps fresher. In fact, and so is Carey's. One thing I have noticed is David Tornisa's tyres are the worst for wear against and everyone whose tyres are the same same age as his. That's 10 laps.
Oh, okay. So Tunisia's obviously been pushing harder than the rest. They are a little bit older than Carey, who's right behind him as well. So don't discount the Williams. He's just minding his own business there, keeping pace with that gap's been hovering around 2.5 seconds for quite a while now. So he's just biding his time, I would imagine. 3-way battle for 7th is Woodford, Slick and Non-Runner. So Red Bull, Sauber rather, and Tarosso involved in this particular battle, as Slick then charging off after Woodford. None of them in a position to attack that. Through the shot was Chromatic, the lead McLaren. Jan Fehler in the top 10, just about 3.5 seconds behind this particular battle. There's Carey. Oh no, that's really going to hurt. That might kind of, if he has been kind of coasting, and you can see actually his DRS deployment's on 0, so he has been kind of minding his own business. This may give him a bit of a hurry up.
Yeah, absolutely. But what he doesn't want to do, he doesn't want to get too concerned about the penalty, but he starts abusing track limits even more. It is obviously possible that you can go to the stewards and get that removed, but usually,
by and large,
if it's for basically rule of thumb is that if you get a penalty by the game for corner cutting, it's probably a legitimate penalty. So there's nothing he'll be able to do about that, really. And
unless he can prove he was forced off and there was nowhere near him, so unfortunately that could well stick. But now we're looking on Non-Runner, so he's trying to keep up with Slick and Woodford. Looks like he's falling off a little bit from the back of the Sauber, but the Sauber is right with the Toro Rosso now, so this could be a challenge for 7th position for Slick. Whilst that is going on, Wycombe is actually staying within DRS range of White Lilac, but White Lilac is within DRS range of Garrix. So we've got another 3-way battle slightly further up the road. We'll have a look at that in a minute. As Wycombe then gets the DRS open, he's going to have a look on the inside of ACL Woodford. Can he get it done before the braking zone? It's side by side coming into turn 1. Here we go again. Is Woodford going to be able to hang on for the inside of 2? Enough racing rules given, but
no, he's off the line. He's off. He was off the track with Slick. Woodford's coming right back at him. We're a little bit of late braking. The Toro could possibly re-overtake that Williams cut over, not the Williams, sorry, the Sauber car.
Yeah,
they're all white these days. The cars. There doesn't seem to be any colour different. Gosh, I don't even know.
Try that one again. Differentiation.
Differentiation. That's it, Kodiak. Thank you very much. And the Red Bull is right on the back of Woodford as well. Coming into turn 10, you don't want to lock up and smash the car in front. In fact, Woodford gets a pretty poor exit.
Pretty bad exit, yeah.
Wycombe, Non-Runner even to close it in as well. And while that's happening, Jan Fehler's closing in on these guys as well. He's just 1.3
another penalty for Carey. Another one. So that's could be rather reminiscent of what you were saying, maybe trying to push too hard, but he's actually losing time.
You might want to have a look at White Lilac on Garrix. He's just half a second behind. This will be for P3, potentially P2 after Carey served his penalties at the end of the race. The Ferrari, DRS wide open. We saw how quick White Lilac was earlier on Wycombe's, is he still got the same term of speed from a Mercedes driver? He's close, but not close enough as he pushes Garrix through the first corner.
Oh, as Non-Runner and Woodford have swapped positions, and the Red Bull now ahead of the Toro Rosso. Woodford's race is started to unravel, and that's Jan Fehler right behind them. Wow, goodness me, he's closed them down, and Haddad, whoops, he's overtaken Photon for 11th, but overshot the braking point for turn 1, and that's an easy re-overtake them for the Ferrari. But Jan Fehler stands to gain quite a few positions. We've still got another 7-ish laps to go. So he's still got time, but that's 3 positions right there for the taking for Jan Fehler in the McLaren.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's closing in very fast. His tyres are pretty much the best on track, just 5 laps old on the soft compound tyres, although it's showing mediums, I think, or at least the game is showing mediums for me, but they are soft compound tyres.
So yeah, it looked like Woodford actually got out of Fehler's way there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's soft tyres on Fehler's car, because he had 12 laps to run on them. Yeah, they are showing as mediums on car, but softs on overlay. So that was an easy pass into 9th from Woodford. But I don't think Non-Runner's going to give Fehler as much of that kind of courtesy. But jumping further up, this is a battle for 3rd. Garrix, Whiteliner and Wycombes. So Wycombes has hung on to the back of the Ferrari for the last few laps. Oh, Whiteliner, big move on the inside of turn 1. Wycombes nearly slams into the back of the Ferrari, and White Lilac has spun along with Garrix. Oh no, there's gonna be words said about that one, I would think. That's very close between himself and the Red Bull that came through. It was Non-Runner, failures through. Oh, what a shame for White Lilac for charging on for so long and getting potentially into the podium positions, and it is just unravelled in the blink of an eye.
Absolutely, that has helped Caraton though. He is now, well, he needs to be 6 seconds ahead of Wycombes, and Chromatic also has 6 seconds of penalties, and he is currently battling with Wycombes. So if a McLaren wants to get a podium, he needs to overtake Wycombes and then gain 6 seconds. So that is quite a tall order. David Tornisa, though, what a race. He has had 40-lap old tyres. His tyres aren't going off at the moment. He's still maintaining the pace, so a good job from him. Garrix is just behind Slick as well, although he's going to be very frustrated and disappointed with how his battle with who was he with? White Lilac.
White Lilac, yeah. And there's Jan Fehler on the back of Non-Runner then. So that charging McLaren, of course, he's had the softer rubber. It doesn't look like it on the car, but I would think the overlay is right, considering Jan's pace has been
medium Kodiak. So
yeah, good point. Oh, Wycombes and Chromatic have indeed swapped position. That's at turn 1 yet again. But exactly as you say, Chromatic has got the penalties. Whether Wycombes knows what the penalties are, again, the engineer can tell you that the driver has a penalty, but you won't know exactly to what degree. So Chromatic's got a lot of work to do if he wants to actually maintain that podium position. Oh, that's Haddad again on Photon coming through 1, 2 and 3. The Ferrari's on a brilliant exit. He's got that position. This is for 11. This isn't even for points. This is just for pride, if nothing else. And Renault on the inside of the Ferrari. Bit of wheel banging going on. Well, wheel to side pod at least. And wow, that's Haddad not letting go of that one. Photon then just nudges ahead. Can he get the job done? Forces the Renault off the track. And that is still 11th to Photon. Oh, yeah, no sooner do I say that, he then overshoots turn 8. And that is then Renault back up into 11th.
At the moment, Fehler is looking at a potential P5, believe it or not.
Wow.
He's doing such a good job. He's got from P5 to P8 is so close. It's just a couple of seconds. If man, they're all going to get DRS apart from Slick, who of course is in P5. Garrix is going to. He definitely has a pace, but he's going to be very much looking for somewhat of a recovery drive from here on in. And in fact, Chromatic overtaking Wycombes has really helped out Caraton as well because of his 6 seconds of penalty. So at the moment, Harry is on the podium.
Indeed, but only by the minute. Oh, yeah, that's not by a lot though. And there goes Jan Fehler on the inside of turn 1. Oh, and that looked like a bit of impact. Oh, possibly a bit of lag, but himself a Non-Runner side by side coming through too. And that's brought the Ferrari of White Lilac in there as well. This could get interesting coming into turn 4.
It looks like Fela has the inside, doing pretty well. They're still side by side through this S section. You'd think Fela has a grip, and he's just
oh no! White Lilac.
That's the second time the Ferrari has span. I must admit, on board of Fela did not look like it was his fault. It was, I think, unfortunately, 2 doesn't go into 1 in that particular circumstance.
Not there, anyway. That's so tight in that particular section. But now that is Fela in 7th. He's got non-runner right with him. White Lilac's got the Red Bull then to try and clear to get back up into that particular battle. Garrix is a couple of seconds ahead of that particular battle, so not in any immediate danger. Less than 5 to go. Then Tunisia still leads by 2.1. plus 6 seconds then on Carey. Chromatic is 6 seconds behind Carrington, but has 2 penalties of his own. He's got Wycombs right with him, who I believe is penalty free at the moment, but right behind Slick is where it's happening at the moment. He's got just 0.6 of a second between himself and the Mercedes of Garrett. Can the Mercedes do anything with the Sauber? Not at the moment. He will remain in that position, and we've lost Railgon. What has happened to Railgon? We don't know. Unfortunately, I can't click on the driver that's that has just retired, unfortunately. But that's White Lilac and non-runner that was side by side once again through 1, 2, and 3. He's going to try an outside manoeuvre at 4. Can the Red Bull hang on? Yes, he can. Once again, White Lilac is pushing very, very hard to try and do something about his position.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not entirely sure what happened to Railgon. He might have just gone to the barrier around turn 13.
Oh, that's a bit of front wing off the Ferrari. Oh dear. That's his race pretty much run then. That's oh yeah, you can see he's locking up coming into turn 10. That's gone horribly wrong for him.
Yeah, it went from bad to worse for White Lilac, although he is closing in on one run up.
Still pressing on, isn't he? How much front wing damage has White Lilac got now?
It's 25%, which is a significant amount. Anything under 14% is usually manageable.
No, Jan! Oh,
that's the second penalty, Kodiak, so he's actually got 6 seconds now.
Oh, it's 6 seconds penalty. Oh, what a shame. I mean, that does drop him down to 10th, I believe. So, well, that's not taking penalties behind him into consideration. Oh, Jan, what a shame. But he's pressing on nonetheless. We still have 3 laps to go, and Tunisia is being caught by Carrington, but he's going to have to be caught by a hell of a rate for Carrington to overhaul Tunisia by enough, unless, of course, Tunisia starts racking up penalties, which we've yet to see.
Well, interesting you say about Kodiak. Tunisia's tyres are pretty close to the edge of explosion.
Oh!
So they're on 68%. We tend to find tyres puncture at about 75%. To put that into perspective, Wycombe pitted on the same lap as Tunisia, and his are on 60%.
Wow.
So Tunisia's been pushing really hard, and Carey has got his tyres are in pretty good shape at the moment. In fact, saying that, so is Chromatic. So is he going to be able to pull away from Wycombe's? Tino with a fastest lap, not surprising considering he's on fresh super soft tyres.
Marek's chasing him as well, so they actually have their own fight, just completely on their own. I mean, Tino's 27 seconds behind Mark, so that is purely a battle for bragging rights and pride. Oh, Marek nearly slamming into the back of the Williams. But yeah, Tino, nothing to lose by that stage. His race has just gone from bad to disastrous, so nothing to fail there. But Wycombe is still hanging on to the back of that McLaren. But Carey is getting very close to that Renault. 2 laps to go. Tunisia's got to be looking at his tyre wedges, hoping that one of them doesn't go bang. We've seen it before, in the closing stages of the final lap. Actually, Tino Nogarina at Silverstone last season blew a tyre in a very strong position. I think it was on the exit of Magnussen Beckett on the final lap, from trying his best to do, I think it was a one-stop strategy or a different strategy to the rest. So it can unravel very, very quickly. So Carey's not out of this yet. He's on the brink of DRS range then to the Renault, but he's going to have a hell of a task to try and get 6 seconds. And actually, Chromatic's got his own penalties, of course. So Wycombe's could well stand to benefit quite handsomely.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine if Tunisia's tyres blow up. Wycombs is looking at a race victory at the moment.
Potentially, yeah. Or if Carrington and Tunisia come together.
Well, absolutely. Well, yeah, very true. How hard is the Williams driver going to push David Tunisia? If he knew about the tyres, I imagine he would push very hard on the last lap. Unfortunately, he has to open up a gap of 6 seconds, which is pretty unlikely in one lap. I don't think, unless Tunisia gets a puncture, that is not going to happen. DRS wide open for the Williams. He's closing in on the Renault, but not quite fast enough. He'll be able to see the extent of the tyre wear on the Renault car now.
Failer flies past Garrix then for 6th position, of course pre-penalties, as they now start their last lap as well. Carrington, he's right under the rear wing of that Renault, almost pushing him through turn 4 as they now come through the twisties 5, 6 and 7. So Tunisia just do nothing more than hang on, and there we go. Carrington flies on the inside. He'll take the checkered flag, and absolutely fair enough. But that's the thing. Tunisia's just got to nurse the car home. Of course, red light on fuel. They all will be by now. So
Tunisia's really low on fuel. As in, I'm not even sure if he's going to be able to finish a race with the fuel Tunisia's got in. Whereas Carrington's looking all right at the moment. It looked a bit strange how Tunisia was accelerating away from turn 9. It almost looked like he'd run out, but he hadn't quite.
He hasn't yet.
Chromatic's going to run out of fuel.
Oh dear, that's never good. But Carrington then, as we can see, Norkarinen and Marek having their battle. They haven't given up. They just started their fastest lap. But coming into the final turn is the Williams of Alvaro Carrington. He is going to take the checkered flag. Tunisia has hung on with those dead tyres. And that's the checkered flag for one, but it is Tunisia that takes the win. Chromatic crosses the line in 3rd, and Wycombs is elevated to 2nd due to penalties. Slick up to 4th as well because of it. Garrix then jumps up to 6th, non-runner 7th, Failer 8. Where's Wide Lilac? What could have been for the Ferrari? He jumps up to 8 because of, again, Jan's penalties. Woodford, here he comes in the Toro Rosso. He is Haddad jumps up to 10th in the Renault. So after all that, he does manage to get a point. Last week's victor comes home in 10th position. Oh, how things change. So Woodford 11, Photon 12, Mark 313 is in 13th place, and these two, and Marek gets another penalty on the board, pushing very, very hard. We just saw him flying off the road at turn 14. He's being chased home by Tino Norkarinen. Here they come then, everybody on the lead lap. Oh, wow, that was a big snap of oversteer from Tino. Over the line they come, and Marek at the death gets the fastest lap of the race.
Not bad at all. That was a 10th quicker than Nikolainen. That was a 127.8 to Tino's 127.9. And it's interesting, but it's still Renault victorious, although a completely different turnaround. 14th was Tunisia's result last time out, Kodiak. So what an improvement.
Ooh, what a season we've got ahead of us.
Absolutely, it's been so close. We couldn't have called that. Had Carey not have had the penalties, he would have won. Wycombs was looking in a strong position, so was White Lilac, so was Garrix. There's 5 drivers just there who could have won that race. Had penalties and circumstances of being a little bit different.
Oh, wow, if this is a precursor for how the season's going to go, I cannot wait. Let's see who wants to talk to us, shall we? This is going to be quite something, I think.
At the moment, it doesn't look like anyone is in the interview box.
Well, let's give them a moment, because I'm very much against dragging people that don't want to come and talk to us, because not everybody does, and it's not an absolute requirement. We like it when they do, of course, but it's not absolutely mandatory for people to come and talk to us, and not everybody's comfortable with English, for instance. So again, I'm reluctant just to kind of drag people through. You did well, you must come and talk to us. But we'll get the music on, we'll get the slideshow going anyway, and we'll see who wants to come and talk to us.
They have all flooded in by the looks of it. They all want to talk to me and King-Kodiak, which I must admit isn't something you often hear.
Right, what have we got? Who shall we grab first, let's grab... No, I don't think all of them are for us, so let's not grab people that aren't for us. We need... Oh, Jan Failer has actually made himself available as well, so are we going to interrupt the conversation? Oh, they were behaving themselves again! Oh, welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the commentary box for the interview. Let us first talk to Failer. What a hell of a recovery drive at the end. How are you feeling after that one?
Happy, to be honest. It was great fun to get the moves done against the others. Qualifying strategy might have looked a bit weird. I was certain that I want to start on the medium tires, so I had to qualify outside the top 10. And unfortunately, I aimed for the wrong time there, because obviously all I could do was look what time P10 is, and then try to go a bit slower than that, so I make sure I'm kind of near P11. But then obviously everyone else improved on fresh soft tires, and I aimed for the wrong time, so I ended up P16. But yeah, after that, everything worked as planned, more or less. You know, staying out of trouble, trying to stick with all the others in front, hoping that not anyone else is on medium, so I'm the only one, and didn't lose too much time. And yeah, then on softs, it was great fun.
Awesome stuff. Right, Chromatic, welcome to the commentary box, sir.
Thank you very much.
How was that one for you? You were in a fair amount of battles quite a lot, so how was that one for you?
Oh yeah, I had a similar strategy to Jan's. I just wanted to qualify out of the top 10, so I could just put softs on and do one stop to mediums. And I had really pretty good pace. I think I had a lot of battles. Yeah, I'm happy. P3 on track, but P5 I'm still happy with it.
Awesome stuff. Why comes? Been a while, sir.
Oh, it's been quite a while actually, but it's good to be back, I guess.
Did you expect to be on the podium?
Well, to be honest, but I mean, like, I'm not expecting anything really at this point, because I just experienced everything in the last couple of months and stuff like that. But yeah, pace looked really good in practice. Qualifying wasn't quite ideal. Was hoping I could get a little bit of a better time in. And yeah, after that, really tried to make the strategy work. Super soft medium is not an easy strategy to pull off, I think. You saw as well, like that not many guys actually did it in the end. So yeah, just kept it out of trouble. Was a little bit lucky as well with the incident between Gerks and I don't even know who the other guy was. But,
we were on board with you at the time, and you were so close. It was White Lilac. You just like, oh, how on earth did you avoid slamming into the back?
Yeah, it was a very close call. I was lucky not to get any damage, and then obviously captured that as well from Crow's and Alvaro's penalties in the end. But I mean, P2, I can't ask for anything more. It's quite an incredible result, to be honest.
Excellent stuff. Well done. And actually, just looking through the chat, looks like everyone else has scarpered, so we will wrap it up at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us throughout the stream. It's always great to have you with us. Thank you very much to our sponsors, of course, Elgato, Hype Energy, Thrustmaster. Always welcome to have them on board. Thank you, Hamish, for joining me in the commentary box. Always a great pleasure, sir.
No, my pleasure. It was a great race, great commentary, and some fantastic overtakes today.
Absolutely. And again, thank you to our drivers for putting on an amazing show. We will be back next time for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.
Good night.